Hi, my name is Golo, and if you're a developer interested in Node.js, I have some little advice for you today. So, suppose you're going to create a web application and you're building that web application using the Express framework. So basically what you're doing is you create an app.js file and you load the HTTP module from Node.js, you load the Express module, and you create an Express-based application and register a root. In this case, it's simply a root which renders hello world to the browser. And in the end, you create an HTTP server, combine it with your Express application and start it on port 3000. So once you run this, you need to switch to the terminal and type node app.js. Hit enter and you see the message Express server listening on port 3000. Now you can go to the browser, type in localhost 3000, hit enter, and you see here we have hello world. So apparently everything is working and everything is fine. So now the next thing you want to do, you would like to have some logging so that you can see which route has been called by the server and what has been done by the user. And because you don't want to add logging to each single route, you want to do it using a middleware. But then you have the idea that logging basically has nothing to do with your application in specific, but it's a more general module. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a completely separate module, which I've done here in this logger folder. And you're creating a file logger.js where you have a setup function that returns a middleware function that basically does nothing but console.log the request method and request URL and calling the next middleware. So that's the most simple logger you can imagine. And you're creating its own package JSON file and so on. So now you want to use this logger in your app.js. And so this basically means that you have to use app.use and provide the logger setup function here. And to be able to use this, you need to require the whole thing. So you say logger is equal to require of logger, save it. And now you have a problem, because where does this logger module come from? Usually when you have a module, you publish it to the npm registry. But in this case, the logger module has just been started, so perhaps it's not yet finished. Or perhaps it contains some private code that you don't want to be public at all. So what are you going to do? Fortunately, the solution is quite simple. All you have to do is you need to switch to the terminal, go to the folder where you have the logger middleware, and type npm link. And this call sets up a link, a symbolic link in the file system from a system-wide module space to this specific module. Now you go back to your application and type npm link logger. And this again sets up a link from your local application's node modules folder to the system-wide installation of this module. So this means that now you have two links. The first one is from your application to the system-wide installation, and the second one is from this system-wide installation to the specific module. So in the end, this is the same as if you would copy the logger module into your application, with the only difference that you now have a link. That is, if you change something in the logger, it is immediately effective also in the application. Now we can see this in action. So let's start node app.js again and simply hit reload in the browser, and you can see here in the terminal that we have a get slash. So now what we're going to do next is that we are doing something in the logger. We changed something here. So we are simply adding a string and say, well, let's say logged. And now we're going to restart our application and hit refresh in the browser again. And you can see here that now we get the string logged without the need to run npm link again. So any change you do at the logger module is immediately effective in your application. And this is a great thing if you are creating lots of modules that are interdependent with each other and that are used by others, and you don't need to have to copy all the things around all the time. So this was a little presentation and a little hint what you can do with npm link. And if you like this, there's a complete course on Node.js on Learnable. It's Node.js, an introduction for backend developers. And if you're interested, go check it out. Thanks.